in your discussion, in your answer, you also said that you were invited by a friend, Barry Weiss.
My friend Barry Weiss.
So this friend works for Twitter, or what is her?
She's a journalist.
Sir, I didn't ask you a question. I'm now asking Mr. Schellenberger a question. Please
yes, ma'am. Barry Weiss is a journalist.
I'm sorry, sir?
She's a journalist.
She's a journalist. So you work in concert with her?
Yeah.
Do you know when she first was contacted by Mr. Musk?
I don't know.
You don't know. So you're in this as a threesome?
There was many more people involved in that.
There was many more people involved in it.
So you would say that it's actually an orgy, not a threesome.
Dude, I love that. I love that clip. That is like, I mean, that is hilarious. That is wonderful. Because I got to think that he thought about his response a little bit. Like I'm pretty sure he's like quick enough that he put that together and was like, well, and you know, like
you can see it on his face.
The guys in the back, like everybody, even like the look on the people in the back are just kind of like, really, lady? Like, I don't know. And I've never seen like images of Schellenberger or Taibbi, however you say it. So like that was kind of interesting seeing them. Like they're just not what I expected. He's just such a like unassuming, like middle-aged dude, just kind of like nodding along. Yeah, all right. Oh, shoot, do I say anything? Like, you know. Did you see the Debbie Schultz Weisserman, the clip?
No. What did she say?
Oh, dude. I sent it in the Twitter chat. Let's see if I can pull it up for you.
I know there was so much stuff in the Twitter chat. Like
yeah. It was more on the same thing.
I was trying to go through all.
My question is, how is she like allowed near politics still? Like, and why is she involved with this at all? Like, I mean, I wouldn't think that she would be involved with. There you go. I just sent it. Like, how is she involved with like, why? Is she a representative? Is she like what's going on with it? In do you know what's going on with this? With the Twitter files and why they're being questioned and everything? Like,
it's because they I don't know. Can y'all hear me? Okay, it may sound far away, but
you're fine.
I don't have headset right now, but yeah,
you're no worse than
Twitter
file on an average day.
See, the Twitter file stuff is they got it was brought up because when they released some of the Twitter files, it implicated like government officials and everything.
Right.
And so they decided to bring them in to question them. Like that was the whole purpose of it. It's like since he was implicating like by releasing.
So why is Schultz involved? And is she in the government? I thought she was like the head of the DNC and just kind of like that was the extent of her role.
Well, that means that if as head of the DNC, that means she is actually the one running the country.
It man checks out, you know.
All right, let's pull it up and let's see what old Debbie's got to say.
Nothing good.
Well, she never does, but
before you became Elon Musk's hand-picked journalist, so, and pardon the oxymoron, you stated this on Joe Rogan's podcast about being spoon-fed information, and I quote, "I think that's true of any kind of journalism," and you'll see it behind me here. "I think that's true of any kind of journalism. Once you start getting handed things, then you've lost. They have you at that point, and you got to get out of that habit. You just can't cross that line. Do you still believe what you told Mr. Rogan? Yes or no? Yes or no?"
Yes.
Good.
Mr. Taibbi, would you care to, I'm down here on this end, sir. Would you care to respond to the attack on your ethics? You weren't given really an opportunity to answer. And if you'd be brief, I've got a bunch of stuff I want to ask you as well.
Sure, just quickly, that moment on the Joe Rogan show, I was actually recounting a section from Seymour Hersh's book Reporter, where he described a scene where the CIA gave him a story, and he was very uncomfortable. He said that I, who had always gotten the secrets, was being handed the secrets. Look, again, I've done lots of whistleblower stories. There's always a balancing test that you make when you're given material, and you're always balancing newsworthiness versus the motives of your sources. In this case, the newsworthiness clearly outweighed any other considerations, and I think everybody else who worked on the project agreed.
Whoever gave her that quote just lost their internship. like if you're gonna quote somebody, and try to flay them on the national stage there, make sure your quote's legit and the context around it. Like, good Lord.
I mean, these guys are clearly pretty sharp. They're definitely a lot sharper than anybody else in that room with them. And you could see it on his face as soon as you read the quote. Like, he knew exactly what it was, exactly where it was from. Like, he's like, oh yeah, this is like just teed me up to take her to school.
I don't get it. I don't get it. And you think about it, you see this happening, and then you realize okay, there's, how long is a Joe Rogan podcast? 4 hours, maybe? Something. I know they're long.
Usually 3.
Okay. So they can't make it through a 3-hour podcast to figure out context. How do we expect these clowns to read a 3,000 page bill in 24 hours and understand what's going on? Even if they have all their little interns read it and then explain it to them, they're still not getting it. They still don't understand. And these are the clowns running the country. They have no clue, no real conception of what they're doing. They just don't.
It's along the same lines as the crazed leftoids who share stuff from Dr. Claire Foster and Dr. Ann Lesby and all of those. It's along the way these people in Congress are behaving is along the same lines as the people who share that stuff unironically. They think it's 100% serious and this is legit. This is somebody who shares our opinion, and we need to that's what her putting that on a big poster and everything, blowing it up, her putting that up
Probably
there,
$500,000 worth of taxpayer money right there to get
probably so.
Joe Rogan's image up there, nice big old poster.
Yeah, it is on par with people unironically sharing stuff from Ann Lesby and Claire Foster.
Oh, golly, man. I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do.
Well, if you're really that confused, the one thing that you can do is ride your bike over a gay pride flag in the middle of the street, because who would ever imagine anybody would, ride a bike on a street.
And now there's even more video. The latest incident shows a group vandalizing the mural with their bikes. One guy appears to stop and record the damage he caused too. And
what?
So apparently this big pride flag was painted on this street, and it got defaced by, I don't know, vigilantes or something. American heroes. And so then
this is in the States.
Yes, this is in the States. So they fixed it. They painted it back. They put it back down and made it nice and pretty. And almost as soon as they did it, these kids are riding through, putting skid marks on it with their bikes. And but not to be outdone, another gentleman in the community decided to add some skid marks of his own.
There you go.
Doing it right there. Getting it sideways and everything. That's oh gosh. This is hilarious. Obviously it's not being well received, or people are taking it as a nice And with that thick of a paint on it, it's probably kind of slick. It's probably the perfect spot to
Yeah.
burn out. Like this
Yeah,
is
it
it's
surely
like
is.
burnout heaven.
My question is, like, first of all, isn't that you gotta imagine that's illegal? Like, how do you work around traffic laws? Do you get did you get a pass from the local city ordinances? Like, you're covering up street signs there, that yellow lane, the yellow lines there. I mean, that seems questionable at best. Not to mention the road traffic safety. When I'm coming up to an intersection, I got all these other lines going on. I don't know, but what do you expect to happen to something in the middle of a road? Like,
I'm pretty sure the city
The
put them
crazy
down.
thing is that it's in Florida right now. Like that's the crazy thing.
Well, I'm
Like,
pretty
you would
sure
think,
good thing it's not near the
Florida,
villages. All
where
those.
Vote goes to die or whatever. Like he's like, Ron DeSantis is like, oh, where vote goes to die, and like Tallahassee just straight up like tells him, you know what, we're gonna put a pride flag on there.
Well, that's the thing is, Florida by and large is what Ron DeSantis represents, but the big cities like Tallahassee or something like they are not. So the city councils and the mayors will do this stuff, but the people of the city aren't on board with that. So
I mean, I think, like, even if that was a mural of a giant Bengal tiger or the American flag or the Gadsden flag or something, right? You'd still have people like burning out on it just because that's what people do. Like,
Yeah.
Get over yourself. Like, nobody cares. Like, you painted the road. It's going to happen. Just shut up. Go away. Like,
But I think they're gonna try to get this guy on like a hate crime or something like that. They're gonna say he was being hateful or something like that, and I guarantee you they're gonna try it at least. Because remember they did that with the kids who painted the special swastikas. So.
I'd probably skip town for that because that's not something they're going to press. Like, nobody's going to come. I don't know. I don't think they I don't know. Maybe they would. Maybe because it's a hate crime, it would be. But I feel like other jurisdictions would like look at that warrant and be like, gonna leave that guy alone. Just move over to Alabama or something. Make a statue for the man.
Well, if it's like Tallahassee City, then he would actually get charged. But if it goes to the county, then.
Well, that's what I mean. Even if they charge you for something like that, like, I just stay out of Tallahassee City, like, because I doubt anybody in the area is gonna help them like apprehend him. Like, get pulled over for a traffic stop. Sir, it looks like you have a warrant for peeling out on a gay pride flag. Well, have a nice day.
Hate crime? No, I'm not doing that here. Like, this is Florida, ain't it?
Oh, I don't know. So where are you going? Are you you
I'm going to Birmingham.
Do a little
going to the
little reaming?
Yeah, we got a field trip in Birmingham, so he's to see the science center. So.
I like Birmingham.
I've never been.
Nice place. I mean,
yeah, and he's gone, and with that, poof.
I mean, when I've been there, it was nice. Huh? I didn't really spend a whole lot of time in like Birmingham with like the people of Birmingham. I mostly did stuff with like the Mises Institute. So
okay.
that probably
I thought they were like Auburn. They're Birmingham.
So every year in April they have a Mises meetup in Birmingham.
Okay.
There's
okay.
So that's.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. I don't pay much attention to where things are anymore. Gave up. What? So do we have anything on the title this morning?
What do you mean? The title is Violators Going to Violate. Talking about our most recent YouTube violation that is causing us to be Trey's back. That is causing us to be Facebook exclusive today. I mean, I guess we're on Twitter too.
We can't see the Twitter
comment.
So, yep. I mean, with Birmingham, like I like parts of it. Like there are certain areas. Like if you go to, like, I guess if you're more in the Hoover area, it's a lot nicer. But if you go down to like, I don't know, like South Birmingham or whatever, like it's rough, man. Like
It's always the South Side.
yeah, I swear.
Why is that? Like
I
every
have
city you
no
go to, I
clue.
feel like it's the southern parts of the city that
Chicago,
are
the
just.
south side of Chicago, even here in
Okay.
Evansville, the south side of Evansville is bad.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the exactness of Atlanta, but I know like North Atlanta is pretty bougie, and I imagine it's better than South Atlanta. The
Well, and
North's pretty nice.
that's the way that Evansville is. The north side of Evansville is where all like the rich folks live, and I think Chicago, the north side of Chicago, is like the more nice, fancy. The for here though, the west side of Evansville is the best side because that's where all the rednecks live.
Now, if you go to the Southern Hemisphere, is it like the same thing? Or
I'm
is it
sure
like
they have all those
They
problems
flip.
with gangs and cartels and everything in South America. Obviously, it's because it's the south side of the planet.
But I mean, like within the cities, is it the north side of the city that's nice, or is it the south side of the city that's nice?
Well, and like the east side
Like
is
North
always
Brazil is nice instead of South Brazil.
the north side is always like the really upper class, like rich folks, and that's like the Scandinavian countries. And then like the east side is always like the kind of snooty leftoids. I mean, that's Eastern
West
Hemisphere.
side is the hillbillies.
West side's the hillbillies. That's you got America on the west side of the planet. I mean, it all checks out. This is like geography 101. No, this is probably geography like 401 or something. We're getting into.
I bet you there's some theory behind this too. You should write a
Probably so.
paper. Yeah.
We should.
Hey, that's like those wolves, like the wolves territory thing.
Yeah. I think we need to. Because it's like the global, but then it's also like the microcosms of society break themselves down in that way.
Micro ecosystems. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody needs to write a paper on that.
The micro ecosystems of cities. That would be funny.
See, this is Jay Forte, and he says I'm not retarded anymore, but he didn't give StreamYard permission to show his name, so he is still a little bit retarded. At least he's doing better than Steve. Steve's watching on Twitter and trying to comment on the stream, and those comments don't show up on the stream at all. So,
I see. I couldn't even
I
do
wondered
either.
why, like, one time whenever I was watching and I was commenting on Twitter, like, you guys never replied. I was like you never said anything about it. I was like, what? Like, I thought that was a good comment.
That was back when we didn't like you. We're just like,
yeah. You were ignoring it. That's what it was. You're just like,
yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why the Twitter comments don't show up on the stream. I was trying
I think
to.
it would probably.
It took me a bit to join it because I was trying to get on like 59 because like 59 is a straight shot south to Birmingham, but like I was having to go through do all this maneuvering, trying to jet in between lanes and everything. I was like, man, I can't join right now. Freaking.
Well, so I don't know why the Twitter comments don't show up. I'm gonna set up, I guess, since Rumble keeps taking us down, or since YouTube keeps taking us down, I'm gonna set up a Rumble for this, and we can stream to Rumble. But I also I can't pull up comments from Rumble either, so I'll have to figure something.
No, that's weird. I could see it like Twitter. I think.
At least Rumble, they finally made it on Rumble where you can pop out the chat. So you could, in theory, you could just like pop out the chat and have it in a separate. I mean, you can't see it just straight up in StreamYard, but you can have it popped up from the actual chat on the if you're at home. I mean, obviously not if you're on the road, but you can't highlight them. That's the only problem. I mean,
Twitter.
We'll figure it out.
The Twitter comments could be like a mess, right? Because it's like, I guess you'd have to make it so it only displays like first level comments, Because then you get replies for replies, and then it just branches out from there, and it could get like super messy and confusing. I don't know.
I mean, that's how Facebook is, and you can just pull them up individually. It doesn't show the whole branch.
All right, fine. Never mind then.
Have you never watched the Lions of Liberty stream on Facebook and commented?
No,
That's
I
right,
don't.
You don't like to let people know who
I
you
don't
are
watch
on
many
Facebook.
streams on Facebook. Period.
I don't like watch streams anywhere. Like I can watch this on 2x later and save half my time. I still get the same giggles and quality information.
I guess
It's an efficiency thing.
Same boomerism.
See, everybody likes being part of the stream because then you can comment, and there's a chance that they'll share your comment. Especially if it's something either good or spicy, or in the case of this show, like you literally make a comment, somebody's gonna hit share at some point.
I mean, yeah, but is that like what are they called? Like a limo? No, what kind of chaser is that? Some sort of chaser? I don't know. Anyway,
ambulance chaser.
Yeah. It's like, you just I don't care, man. I don't care. I know my self-worth. I don't need the approval of some clowns in LA.
Well, speaking of ambulance chasing,
clowns in LA.
Well, I mean, we could go there too. I was going to say, speaking of ambulance chasing, I wonder if scientists have revived a zombie virus that spent 48,500 years frozen in permafrost because, COVID didn't do the job well enough.
I mean, you gotta have a bioweapon, right? You've got to have a good bioweapon, and clearly they didn't engineer a good enough one. So,
I mean, arguably, it only goes after amoebas, right? That's not something that goes after humans. But when you look at our past history with gain of function research and the fact that who knows what this is going to do to these amoebas, and then like people can get infected by amoebas. It happens. That's how you die. They get in your brain. So do you really want like a super viral amoeba like floating around out there?
Right, as I say, like, okay, maybe it only goes after amoebas, but how long before they get a hold of this in a Wuhan lab and it's doing other things?
They probably already do. Let's be real.
I mean, don't they break out smallpox and something else every once in a while and just like play with it to make sure that they haven't killed the samples or something? Like,
like inside baseball here, a little bit of inside baseball. There was at the training facility that I was, I worked under FEMA, and they would have some testing with like chemicals and stuff like that, and they had an issue with live agent one time because they were testing with the actual real stuff. I forget what it was, but every now and then, they'll bring out that kind of stuff. Have like what's the popular one that they
it's probably
people like
probably
mail,
AIDS if you're at FEMA.
No, the one they mail. I'm
anthrax.
Anthrax.
Yeah, so they'll have like live anthrax sometimes, and they'll break that out and they'll mess with it. But it's supposed to be a dead agent. It's not supposed to be a live agent. But they actually tested with the live agent and didn't warn everybody. Like if they get live agent, they're supposed to be equipped and they have everything ready. But they were testing with the live agent, acting like it was like the just like acting like it was a routine thing, and so they had a big issue stink about that, So they break this stuff out and they test and they try to see like, okay, well, how do people do in the environment, and so that's a lot of the kind of stuff that they do to make sure that people are prepared for those situations.
And y'all say I'm the Fed.
Yeah, I know. Well, see, but this is my theory. This is my theory is that like, yeah, you're like the ringleader, and then Trey's one of your other guys, and you're all trying to like pinch me.
Look, we got to bring Mark in somehow. Like we gotta find a way. Like me and him are both working, and we're gonna bring. That's why we're
that's
we're
exactly.
trying to,
You already
we're trying
put
to
Mark
get him to
away.
hook up with a chick, so then that way he'll he'll get married, and then we can actually track him more legally.
You already got him arrested once. I mean,
That's why I had him
Look,
come
we
to the
got to
house.
put him. We got to put him away as long as the QAnon shaman. Okay, like that's how long we need to put him away.
That's why I had Mark come down here and meet me to go to that game in Mississippi. While we were gone to the game, that's when they came and bugged his car and everything because I didn't know where he lived. So, we had to find a
you could
workaround
have
to
just
that.
asked Brad. He probably would have told you.
Brad definitely knows. I think they live like right over
Just
the
save
hill from
yourself
each
a
other.
trip.
I have Brad blocked, so I couldn't keep seeing his shit, so I just had to move on with life. Never regretted it either. Let's see. Speaking of somebody else who everybody should probably block, I don't know why he hasn't been removed from polite society yet. Probably because victim card is worth more than if you can play the victim card and the racism card, you are like gold forever. And that's the game that is not Colin Kaepernick. That is there we go. Colin Kaepernick accuses white adoptive parents of problematic upbringing, perpetuating racism. Were his white parents raising him to be a racist? Is that what he's trying to say?
Well, yeah, I didn't read anything on this. I didn't really care to. Like, what was his gist? Was it that, like, were they not
Okay, essentially, like
black
what he's
enough for
saying
him?
is they raised him like he was white. I guess like they're saying like they didn't let him be authentically like authentically black or whatever. Like that was the idea that they were trying to they're trying to make sure that he acted differently. I guess is what he's getting at.
Is he authentically black now? Is that what he's
I
suggesting?
mean, supposedly, like he's got his big fro. He's got all the chains. He's got everything. He's wearing what was it? He's wearing all these different kind of things like cops are pigs and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I guess now he's accepted. So
I mean, on one hand, I can kind of see so adoption is really tough, I think, and it can go both ways, but I can see where you could have resentment in some places of, and it's difficult, right, for parents that aren't familiar with a different culture or upbringing, but at the same time, that's all part of life, and they made a lot of sacrifices for him as well, and it's like you move on,
here's the thing: is if you adopt.
Did he write a comic book?
It's a graphic novel based on
real?
his life.
No, it's come on, you got to be kidding me! What the hell?
Yeah, they did this. They did a whole series where they did a bunch of different figures like that, and they would make them show their struggles or whatever.
Yeah, struggles.
Yeah, struggles. But so here's the thing.
J4 last
is
comment.
if you're adopting, it should be expected that if you're a kid being adopted into a family, you're gonna have to you're gonna be accepted into their culture, not the other way around. It's not gonna be they need to raise you as your culture. You know what I mean?
That's why I'm raising Nadia to be a racist.
Well, but you get what, man? I don't know.
Go ahead, say it. We're on
No.
We don't have to worry about getting taken down off YouTube. We've already done that. Just say it.
No, I'm just when it goes both ways, and I think both sides give a little bit, but you just, I don't know. I can't remember what I was going to say now. Thankfully, I don't feel bad about not saying it. Carry on.
Well,
I mean, obviously, you should be able to. So, especially if it was an older kid, you should be able to listen to them and understand and try to engage with them in the way that they know. Obviously, right? But if they're younger, or even then, you still need to bring them to your culture, teach them your ways of things. I mean, that's that's true for any kid. Like, even biological kids here. I need to teach them, okay, basically what is our culture, and that's
Here.
So let's say, for
you
instance,
get
that his adoptive parents tried to like raise him black. Then they would be accused of appropriating
yeah.
black culture and like all of this shit. So like it's a lose-lose, especially with the
That's
way
what I was just gonna say.
he's painting it. Like this is the whole thing is a shtick. I mean, early on in his career when he was actually successful and
he
doing
didn't have
well,
to do this.
he didn't do
have
any
to
of
do
this kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
He posed for just all kinds of pictures with his parents, like him being adopted by these nice white people, and it was like this, come up from nothing success story and all of this kind of stuff. And now because he is unemployed, and the reason he's unemployed is not because he took a knee. He didn't start doing that until he lost his starting job, but nobody wants to talk about that. Now, like, this is his shtick. This is the only thing he's got to fall back on, and he's making more money doing this than he was making in the NFL.
Mhm.
I mean, if he were still in the NFL with the way contracts have gone fucking insane for quarterbacks, there's a chance he might be making more. But he's
not
doing
as a
better.
backup quarterback though, and he
Right,
was
not
gonna
as
be
a
a
backup
backup.
quarterback.
That was
Clout chasing. That was the word I was looking for earlier. Clout chasing. I tell you, like, you get looks from people, I think, sometimes when you have kids that are of a different race with you, and it's looks from both sides. I've gotten more looks from one side than another, and
Anytime people see me out with Nadia, they just assume that my wife is black.
Yeah, well, if they see you out, but I know, right? But then they see you out together, and it's like, wait a minute, what are you doing with that kid? And I just like,
Well, and that's the really funny thing about it is my kids and her kids all look alike except for Nadia. So like whenever all of us are out together, it's like the two of us with our 4 kids and then our little adopted black kid. Is what it looks like. Like that's the looks that we always get, even though it's like biologically Stephanie's child.
So if you like, and that's it, right? Like if you had this kid and you're dressing like, regular white people, and you have your little adopted black kid that you have, dressing like black people.
Oh no.
Like what kind of looks would you get? You know what I mean? Like what would it like?
Her entire
I'm just saying,
wardrobe is straight off the wall at Hot Topic. I mean,
really.
I know, but I'm saying
That's
like
surprising.
if you had.
Yeah, she is all about the anime stuff and the little goth outfits and all of that crap. It's the tall boots and it's nuts. She came out of her room the other day before school and was like, "Did your mom literally just buy your entire wardrobe off the wall at Hot Topic?" And she goes, "Not the entire wardrobe." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So the answer is yes.
Like I got the I got the shorts somewhere else, and I got boots somewhere else or something.
No, I think she said no. She ordered some of this from Amazon.
Oh yeah.
I keep thinking
Clyde,
about people are supposed to stay away from.
Clyde, do you put your adopted kids in all FUBU attire?
I tried to go with the Fila outfits, but I couldn't find it anymore.
I can respect Fila a little bit more than Fubu.
No.
Well, we were talking
and
about
that's it. Like, I'm like,
or Puma. Like if it was like Puma, I'd respect that a little bit more.
I have to admit though,
is Puma ethnic?
Is
Puma black?
Puma has some tennis shoes that are incredibly comfortable. They are.
I had a pair of soccer boots that like were Puma. They're my favorite shoes. Like I love Puma like cleats.
They've got some like casual tennis shoes that are so comfortable, and I've got large and bad feet, so that's very nice.
Yeah, they never have my size though. Like they would have your size, but then they won't have my size. That's the worst part. It's like I'm just out of the cusp of where I would be able to get a lot of shoes in my size. If I was one size smaller, like they're like
you're right, like boys to men cusp.
Like just because I happen to be a real man with real big feet, they just I don't know, they just don't want to build size 16 shoes.
Yeah,
in those
14s are hard to find. Like you're limited on your selection, and like you get what you can get. 15s are super rare, and then anything past a 15, you almost have to special order.
See, I got like a 10 and a half.
Super average.
So I got like little pegs. I'm like 6 foot. I got little pegs. It's like,
how do you even stand up? How do you even stand up on those things?
I don't know.
I fall
but
over.
I can.
It's not enough.
I can.
It's not enough foundation.
Yeah, I know. When I look down at my feet sometimes, I'm like, wow.
Jay's comment is Puma is for sure black, but damn it, do they make good soccer cleats? Ironic, perhaps. They're just trying to get the black community to participate more in soccer. That's what it is.
See, they know that they're athletic and can run, and they're like, oh well, we want them playing soccer because that there's a lot of running and it's a very athletic sport. So like, let's get them in it. It's an op. It's an op there.
Well, we were talking about feds, and somebody brought up Mark as well. So that kind of relates straight to this one. A CIA issued rectal toolkit for spies.
Whoa.
I couldn't tell if this was real or fake. I didn't know if they were legit talking about this or if this was like a troll piece. But it was hilarious.
What is that? Do we dare watch the video? I don't know that we want to get taken down, but
it says this imaginative gadget was designed to get operatives out of difficult situations.
You just put it inside and it explodes. Poof. Like that, like the boys there. Remember the first episode of the boys?
Yes.
The invisible guy blew up.
What I see when I look at the rectal toolkit is a great example of problem solving in the intelligence world. Technology is designed to fix hard problems. My name is Dr. Vince Houghton. I'm the historian and curator here at the International Spy Museum. The International Spy Museum has the largest public display of espionage artifacts anywhere in the world.
What was that? I had like a Taliban guy there.
Time to time, I'll see visitors looking at our escape and evasion case, which is all the tools to help you get out of a bad situation. They can just watch their eyes as they go from artifact to artifact until they lock on to the rectal toolkit. And it's almost like you can see their brain working, and then the light bulb pops. Are you kidding me?
And then they throw up.
What I have in my hand is a CIA-issued rectal toolkit given to CIA officers during the height of the Cold War. So the materials that rectal toolkits are made of varies to a degree, but you want to make sure that you have a material that does not have the chance of having kind of sharp edges or any kind of splintering effect. Because,
no sharp edges or splintering effect because you're sticking it in your ass.
Finely machined. The seals have to be very tight, not only to prevent things from seeping into the actual but also so that you don't have any kind of sharp edges or ridges that can possibly injure you when you're using this.
No way.
What the toolkit allows them to do is have on hand ways to get them out of
that's way too big. I mean, let's be honest.
To drill your way
I'm not
through a door.
I don't know if that's part of your training is working up to that size.
All the different ways that you
this
can
is
maybe
the original
break out of
butt
a jail
baby.
cell, like things that people might bake into a cake. Well, these are all encompassed inside this toolkit because guards are going to put you in a place and say, "Oh, the door's locked. We don't have to really pay a lot of attention to this guy," because they don't think that you have these tools with you. And if you do, you have a huge advantage. These people who work in intelligence agencies building these gadgets are given some impossible tasks, and they're trying to figure out ways to solve the impossible problem. So this is a great indication of that, right? You present a problem, say,
"Oh, that's insane." That's like, and that's Cold War. I was expecting that was like one of the new things to be inclusive in the administration. Like.
Well, I mean, there were all kinds of things going on during the Cold War. They had a lot of different ops going on. Like there were so many different operations that they were doing simultaneously, and they need that kind of stuff to be able to operate in the field. So I mean, it kind of makes sense. But I mean, oh my gosh, like having to Do
Based
that.
on
That
Clive's
I
name
would just
alone
opt
today,
for
he
like the
definitely-
cyanide pills. Just be like, no,
Based
I'll
on
pass
Clive's
on
name
that.
today, he definitely would not be taking that into the field.
No, I take cyanide pill. I do something, like just file the edge of my teeth down so I can bite my tongue off and not talk. Like just something, anything. I won't do that.
You think that was J. Edgar's idea? Like he was.
Probably.
Saying.
I mean,
this seems like like, yeah, let's stick stuff up their ass. I gotta make sure it fits.
I need 20 strapping young men to try this out. Come on, boys.
I'll personally test it for them. Give them the first entry. Make sure they're.
Those edges were a little rough.
Bring them all in, and we're gonna do it this one at a time. We're gonna try it out. We're gonna test it.
All right, gentlemen. Turn your head and cough. Now bend over. Oh God.
Oh, good Lord. You know who else got things stuck up their butt? Gaddafi.
Just out of nowhere.
That was a segue. It's a segue. We have like multiple links.
What? Where's the Gaddafi link? I don't
know. There was one about the Clinton body count, which was, and then there's also the one about United Africa. Where'd it go? Did that not make it in?
I didn't see the United Africa one. There's prominent executive, 55, who served in Clinton and Obama administrations, killed on board a jet during severe turbulence over New England. Who else was on this jet with her? Oh, I mean, and just like we talked about it when it happened a year or so ago, the former Clinton lawyer that was found hanging from a tree in the little woods behind his house, but he also mysteriously had a shotgun wound to the chest, and he was like 15 feet off the ground too. It's like, how
did they try to claim that like he got up there and then did it or whatever?
Yeah, it's like, how did he get up there?
Yeah,
well, then there was another one. It was a former like campaign official or something for the Clinton administration that what was it? He was found dead and had been shot like 3 times, but they declared it a heart attack or something. What?
Dude, they'll give us all the other conspiracies, and they'll be like, all right, you know what, you guys are right. COVID was all this stuff, but they will stick to this one. They will. Nope, Clinton body count is not real. Like
they shot that dude 3 times and it didn't kill him, but it shocked him so much he had a heart attack and died. He's like, oh my God, I can't believe they came for me. And just keeled over.
Anyway,
there is like a what do they call it? Like if you have some kind of traumatic event like that, and it can either paralyze you or like kill you from something like that.
Let's see. Oh, we didn't talk about this one on International Women's Day.
I sent you the Gaddafi link if you are curious to look at it later. You don't have to do it now.
No, I'm doing it now. You sent it. You're
doing it
put
live.
it in the private chat, which means we lose it as soon as we close this out. So I
have it pulled up. It's not a big deal. I guess he was working on like United States of Africa dream that got Gaddafi killed, right? I mean, you could see where that would be a problem, right? Libya was like one of the top tier nations of Africa until we went in there and wreaked havoc, and now they have open slave markets, open air slave markets. Yeah, right. Liberated them into slavery.
Into slavery, yeah.
Yeah, he put a lot of fear into Europeans and everything else. I'm not saying he was a good guy, but I mean, it was all
good guy or not. He's one of the coolest looking dictators that we've had. Like, look at this guy.
I mean I don't know. Like Castro is up there for sure.
If you put Castro up there, you got to put his son up there too. I mean, and he looks kind of like a priss, but I think
which is better, Castro or his son? Which one do you guys think?
well, I think it's tough because Castro looked pretty cool, but then you look at Trudeau and you're kind of like, well, it takes away from Castro's regime. Anyway, I just thought that.
So what's going on? They're talking.
No,
about
Trudeau's Castro's kid.
Is he legitimately?
Justin doesn't know about that one.
I mean, it's like, I don't know if it's legit, but it's pretty close to
They're
legit.
spitting images of each other, but I mean, Ashton Kutcher looks a whole lot like Steve Jobs, and I'm pretty sure he's.
Yeah, but I think if you go trace back his mother, you look through Trudeau's mother and where she was and everything.
There are links. Like there was supposedly Castro met with Trudeau's mom somehow. So that I don't know. There's rumors that like, okay, well, whoever his dad is isn't actually his dad, and because she met Castro, that was like an affair or something. That's the rumor anyway. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things. Sorry. Had to share it.
Speaking of one of those things,
back to
how
Women's
about
International Day.
What now?
Or not?
Oh,
Nothing. I was going to take us back to Women's International Day. See, this is the problem. You don't give me controls, and then I can't, when I have a decent segue, I can't do it. I got to leave it for you, and you just fumble around, and
Well, look, I've got 43 tabs open, and I'm trying to find the right one. Just cut me some slack.
That's not a woman. Why are they all grabbing themselves? Ooh. I'm confused. What's going on?
That was a heck of a forehead.
They're hugging themselves to be equitable. That's the one.
This music is horrible. I'm going to rip this and use it for one of our intros. So apparently,
what was I supposed to get from that?
Oh, it's the European Central Bank. It says equity is no longer enough. Today on International Women's Day, we need to take it a step further and embrace equity. This means not just giving women the same opportunities, but exactly what they need to succeed. We support International Women's Day by striking the embrace equality.
CIA's got a tool for that.
So they're embracing equality by giving themselves hugs. Okay. Because they're all
equity. Like you can't just have equality anymore. It's got to be equity now. That's the thing. It can't be just equality, because if you have equality, then obviously women still lose. That's the implication that they're saying here, is that even if you have equality, it's not good enough. So now you need equity to fix the problem, I guess.
Speaking of that, did y'all see Bernie Sanders on Bill Maher get Bill calls him out on equity and equality?
No.
I saw something about that clip, but I didn't actually see the clip.
It is pretty fantastic. Here we go. This is Bernie Sanders in his element.
We're confusing equality of opportunity with trying to guarantee equity in outcomes. Okay, that's interesting, because I think this word equity has come into the language in the last few years, and before that we didn't hear it a lot. And I think a lot of people hear equity and they hear equality. That it's the same word, and it's not the same word in the same concept. So how would you differentiate between equity and equality?
Well, equality, we talk about, I don't know what the answer to that is. Come to think of it, equality is equality of opportunity. All right? We live in a society, we want all people to have whatever color your skin is.
Equity, I think, is more guarantee of outcome, is it not?
I think so.
Okay. So which side do you come down on?
Equality.
Equality.
Yeah.
Okay. Boys, any?
Really?
I mean, he has to say that.
Does he
If he
realize what he just
doesn't,
said?
then basically a whole DNC will like disown him. Like if he's not on the right side of history, I guess.
Right. He has to say that he's in favor of equality because that's the marching point. They want equality. What they actually are pushing for is equity. But they have to say that they want equality. That way you think it's all about equal treatment, not
Well, except for
guaranteed
Kamala.
results.
You remember the Kamala clip, like where she did a special thing where it was saying like, oh, equality's not good enough. It's actually equity because like she basically did the example of like, like some people climbing up a mountain or something like that, and some people start at a better point than others, and like, oh, we shouldn't just start from the same point. We should end at the same point. And she literally made that argument in I don't know. There's like a little ad. I don't know if you saw that. You guys saw that one.
I mean, I get it.
I think we
but
might have
it's
even
just,
played that one when it.
just doesn't work. It's not feasible, The only way to do that is to hold everybody back, like.
Well, then you got the you've got the little graphic that explains equity and equality. But the best one is this one right here, because this is how whenever the government is enforcing its equity or its equality, this is how it actually works.
Yeah.
About right. Did you see the?
Because that's what equity ends up being. If it's like socialism, communism, government enforced, it's not you bring everybody up to the same level that the people who are doing well are at. You bring everybody down to the same level that the people who fucking suck are at, because they're not coming up to those levels. It's unattainable and unsustainable. We talked about it. We talked about it. Poor is a mindset. Like poor is a lifestyle. It's a thing that you do. It's not like poor people. Not saying all, but by and large, poor people aren't poor because they don't have the opportunities. They're poor because they make such terrible choices or won't take advantage of the opportunities. Like poor is a lifestyle choice.
Poor can be lucrative though. I mean, like if I don't have to work and government's paying me to stay home and like give me housing and give me a phone and I mean, I can see where it would be hard to get out of that. Have to go to work for a little bit, make a little bit of money, you get off some of the programs, and you're at the same place you were when you were on the programs. Why am I going to do that?
Well, it takes like discipline. Like, you need a level of discipline that you have to like. Okay, well, I gotta manage the bills. I gotta save extra money to be able to get to the next stage. And no, it's just a lot of work for some people to sit there and go, okay, well, I'm going to make sure that I budget right and plan for everything. And so they just get left behind. And speaking of left behind, like these kind of programs always like end up kind of like the No Child Left Behind. Like the point of that whole thing was to make sure that everybody could. But now essentially everybody's graduating, but the intelligence of these people are, and they're some of them can't even read. Like, they're not able to read properly. So it's completely destroying the purpose of what they intended for it to do. Instead of actually making these people where they can graduate, it just made them where they got passed along.
Well, did you see the? I imagine
and
you guys
that's the
didn't.
same
Did you see
thing.
the tweet
If we
from?
give money, if we give reparations, I mean, it's going to be the same way. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
That's not going to change it.
Did you guys see the tweet from the Atlanta Public Schools, Atlanta Public Schools, APS?
We talked about that the other day. Remember?
When?
Or did we talk about the article that talked about how all the kids in Atlanta are illiterate?
Yeah, I think we might have talked about that, but they put out a tweet that had like the board, and it's all women, and they're all like national International Women's Day, like, hooray, look at us. And it was just the comments are just like, okay, that's fine. Like, all your students are like failing. You're lagging behind Georgia standards. Like, congratulations. Like, it
Well,
was just,
it's like all the damn CEOs, like first woman CEO of this company and first woman CEO of this company, and like most of them are getting fired, and the companies are like
bankrupt.
going in the tank. It's
Mm-hmm.
like not saying the
Well, I
women
mean,
aren't
look
capable
at
of doing the
YouTube.
job,
Even
but like when they're
YouTube.
being given the job because they are women, then like
This is what happens.
yeah, this
look
is what
at YouTube.
this is what equity gets you.
Is YouTube woman run now? Is that what he's saying?
I don't know, probably.
That's why we keep getting
Well, speaking
struck off there.
Speaking of International Women's Day and women, I bet you when these came out, women were just flocking to Aldi. Aldi suffers Easter marshmallow blunder. We can't even defend this one, they said. Aldi shoppers are calling out the supermarket chain for stocking Easter Bunny marshmallow snacks that resemble something other than what they were intended to be. The unintended shape of the bunnies and chicks first caught the attention of a British shopper who wrote on Twitter, "Sorry, Aldi, but that ain't a bunny."
Where is it?
Right there.
I guess I kind of see it.
You see the bunny or you see the penis?
The penis.
It's
not very like, I know. It's not. It's more just like, I don't know.
I mean, I know it doesn't have like a well-defined head on it, and I know you want your like penis candies to be anatomically correct, but just imagine
it's like a
4-year-old got a
4-year-old
foreskin in there.
I know, but it's like a 12-year-old's drawing, right? It's like when you're drawing on like your classmates' paper to get them in trouble. Like that's like the quality. Like, I don't know. I think they just melted some sugar together and.
Well, I mean, I can't even really tell what. Like, hang on, I've got the picture. I've got the picture blown up where we can see it a little bit better because I know everybody wants to start their Friday looking at candy dicks. Like,
marshmallow penises.
Marshmallow penises. Like, what's even going on with like the coloration and like I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I expect from Aldi's. If I'm being honest, like, you know. What were you expecting? I mean,
I don't
they're not
know.
Peeps.
I mean,
it's not Peeps, you know. Like,
does it really matter what shape the marshmallow is in? Like, the kids just want to gobble marshmallows.
Easy,
They don't care if it's
easy.
They don't care what the shape is.
I don't know, man. That's kind of.
That's why you buy like the bags of like deformed jelly beans or deformed marshmallows. Get them on sale for like super cheap because the kids don't care what they look like. They taste exactly the same. Especially if you're buying the marshmallows in the winter, like you're just throwing them in hot chocolate and watching them dissolve anyway. It doesn't even matter.
Well, I mean, maybe they taste different. I bet you they roast differently, right? Different.
Do you think when they get warm they expand?
Yeah, a little bit probably.
If you throw them in the micro, or if you throw them in
right up.
if you throw them in the refrigerator, they like shrink up.
I'm not sure how marshmallows work like that. If you put them in the fridge, they tighten back up and go back to original size. I don't know.
So what is it like?
Little shrinky dinks.
Shrinky dink. Oh gosh. We got anything else? I don't want to talk about the Mormon mom with a secret OnlyFans account. It's just like I don't even fucking know. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I
didn't read it. I saw it and I was like, I'm just gonna pass on that. Like, there's nothing to say that hasn't been said, and it's done. People are.
What do you think she's like? Is she doing an OnlyFans because with the other 4 wives, she's not getting the attention that she needs from the husband? So she's like, all right, if he's paying attention to the other 4, then I'm gonna start an OnlyFans so that at least somebody will look at my coochie from time to time.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it could be. It makes sense, right? Like you need something. But I don't know. I think it's just, you know, lots of people give themselves titles that they don't like actually adhere to. I mean, I don't know what Mormons believe, but I have a feeling that's not really in the Mormon books. That that's
So what
okay.
you're-
Maybe it is. I don't know.
So what you're saying is she's probably just retarded.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.